Hi and welcome back to Normski TV, doing a preview for the Man United or Arsenal Man United game tomorrow, 5:30 kickoff at the Emirates. A chance for us to possibly do the double over them. We beat them early part of last year. Well, not early part of last year's season, when we beat them, I think it's to November 2020. We beat them 1-0. Very good game. We beat them by a penalty, 1-0. Aubameyang getting the winner for us. And going into that game, I remember going into that game, they had just come off the back of beating PSG and Leipzig, and I was thinking, Arsenal don't stand a chance. Ever since then, they've kicked on, and we kind of went down the hill. And our run of games up until the Chelsea game, I was thinking to myself, looking at the games ahead, and I knew at some point we would be playing Man United. I thought, mate, the way they're playing, they have not lost a game in a calendar year, and they're coming to the Emirates tomorrow, so they're obviously going to want to defend that. And I say, prior to all of that, I was not confident at all. But obviously we've had an upturn in terms of our performance since the Chelsea game. We have not lost a game. We've managed to acquire a possible 16 points out of 18. We're the second form team in the league, which is fantastic. As I said, Man United, they would have come into this game, if they'd beaten Sheffield United, the basement team. But, surprise, shock, they lose 2-1 at home at Old Trafford. So it gives Arsenal a bit of confidence going into this game. As I said, it's not going to be easy. They have got some very good players, the likes of Cavani, who's just brilliant, his movement, Rashford, Fernandes, just to name a few players. They've got players that can hurt us, and they're very much a counter-attacking side. So it's going to be an interesting game the way we set up. Are we going to allow them to have the ball? Are we going to have more possession of the ball? It's more than likely that we will have more possession. But what we need to do is be able to look after the ball and to make sure that we don't lose it in dangerous areas, and to make sure that we're not leaving space behind in the back, because they have got players who can counter really fast and that's their game basically. So we got to be smart. We got to take the game to them. We got to press them. We got to give them no time on the ball. And the likes of Thomas Partey, who we're hearing is obviously a fitness boost. Looks like he's going to be back. Kieran Tierney was in training. Hopefully we'll be hearing some good news with regards to him. Smith Rowe, he went off with some kind of cramp. Some people were saying it might have been an injury, but Arteta is holding his cards closely to his chest. He's not saying much on that, but I do believe that these key players will be back for this game. It is a massive game, and I think with these players back, with Lacazette, Saka, performing at the levels that they are. Obviously, Aubameyang, we're not too sure whether he's going to be back for the game. Obviously, he's back in the country, but has had some personal issues, and so Arteta is obviously just sort of looking at and thinking, is he going to be ready for this game? It's obviously going to be down to Arteta whether he picks him. I'm assuming Aubameyang would want to play, but he hasn't, trained with a team and that, so we'll have to wait and see. He may possibly be on the bench, and I will be going through my predicted 11 and also predicted score. And also I want to talk about just a couple of transfers, nothing major, concerning Maitland-Niles being linked with a number of clubs. Mustafi linked with Liverpool, so let's see what happens there. Let's see what happens there. But let's focus on this game tomorrow. As I said, this is a chance for us to do the double over Man U. The last time we did it was in 2006-07 season, I believe, where we beat them 2-1 at home and then 1-0 away. That was under Wenger. So this is a chance to do another double over Man U. Our record in the last couple of years have been quite good against Solskjaer. I mean, Arteta's record at the moment is very, very good against Solskjaer. So this is a chance for us to go into this game. This will almost propel us up the table. Winning this game will start to put us back in the mix, that top 6 and a possible top 4. As you can see, teams are dropping points left, right, and centre. The only team that's really sort of kind of forging ahead is Man City, who right now are just like running away with it at the moment. Even though the points, when you look at the table, it's still quite tight. Last season, this time, Liverpool was talking about they were 21 points clear. Now you've got teams right down to 7th, 8th, and you look at the top where, the points is that same margin. So it's very, very tight. And this season is obviously a very strange season. As I said, anyone can beat each other. Sheffield United, they were fighting for their lives, and you did not expect them to go to Old Trafford. You expected Man United to turn them over. Shock result, 2-1. So they're not going to be, well, I'll say they're not going to be confident coming to this game. Not after that. If they'd won that game, then they would have been coming with their chest high and everything. But, we still have to be very cautious concerning them. They are a very good side. And as I said, they've got the best away record, and they have not lost an away game in a calendar year. And so they would want to keep hold of that record. But this is a chance for Arsenal to do that. And, obviously, the team that Arteta's going to pick, depending on injuries, we're hearing, as I said, Pablo Mari and I think Ceballos is training now. Whether they will make the team or not, I don't know. Odegaard, will he make the team? That's interesting. Put it in the comments. What do you think? Do you think Odegaard should be on the bench? Look at him in training. Look very good. Creative number 10. Very much left-footed. But, Solskjaer's come out and said he's a very good player. He plays for the Norwegian side, so he knows from watching him that he's a very good player. And he can hurt. I believe that he can hurt. But I think what Arteta's saying, it might be too early for him to come into this game. But you never know. He could be on the bench. But as I said, the players that we want to see back in that side is Smith Rowe, Tierney, Partey. These are the sort of players they want to see. Obviously, Pablo Mari is, as I said, coming back from injury. And when it comes to our defence, I would probably want to see Gabriel come back in and partner Holding. Holding has probably been the most consistent defender out of all the defenders before Pablo got injured. Gabriel, had a bit of a slow start coming back from his COVID issues. And, these last couple of games hasn't been brilliant. But I'm probably rather him. He's more aggressive than David Luiz. I think Luiz has got a mistake in him. I'm not saying Gabriel has as well. He's very aggressive. He likes to push up, but that's the problem. He leaves too much space behind. And that's the thing that Man United can do. They can exploit that. So he has to use his head. Arteta, if he does decide to play him, has to tell him, look, you've got to stay a little bit deeper and stop pressing high. Because if you make a mistake, one ball over the top, you've got the likes of Greenwood, Rashford or Martial getting in the back, or Cavani. So, those are players that we have to watch out for. But let's go with my predicted 11. Who I would like to see. Obviously, it's probably going to be a lot different to what Arteta picks. But I'm going to go for my predicted 11. So let's first of all start off with the goalkeeper. Leno, who's been very consistent, has been very good in these last few games. Probably one of our best players. Aside from Saka and Smith Rowe, and Tierney, he's been really quite solid in goal. And he's going to obviously start for me. The likelihood is that they'll have Matt Ryan on the bench. So just in case if anything happens, then, we've got somebody that we can call upon. If it was Runnison, mate, I tell you, I'll be well frightened. But, it's good that Leno is playing consistently good, making some good saves, and his distributions are a lot better in terms of getting the ball out quick. His long kicks are not that fantastic, but he's more commanding in the area, so that's really good to see. So Leno in goal. Now right back. Now, for me, Cedric Soares in his last couple of games has been absolutely brilliant. When he played against Southampton, he played on the left, but he was outstanding, absolutely outstanding. And for me, it's a good call for him to be playing at right back. He needs to start over Bellerin. Bellerin defensively is not brilliant. He's lost his pace, and I'd be worried with him up against the likes of Rashford. He causes too much pressure put on Holding, because he always vacates the space. Sometimes playing that inverted right back, coming in, you know, and you know what he's going to do. His crosses are not that brilliant. For me, he's too inconsistent. But Cedric, over these last few games, has been absolutely brilliant. And I would start him over Bellerin. I'll start him at right back. And then obviously the two centre backs would go with Holding, who's, as I said, been very consistent and has had some very good games. And I think he would enjoy playing against Man United. Very good in the air, win those high balls. So I would start Holding alongside him, Gabriel, because Gabriel's got pace, so we're going to need someone like Gabriel there. I think David Luiz is going to get caught out. So I would start Gabriel alongside Holding, and at left back, Kieran Tierney. My man, Kieran Tierney at left back. You know, he's going to cause a lot of problems down that side. Wan-Bissaka is going to be up against Wan-Bissaka. If you've got, depending on who plays that side, if it's Pepe or Saka, depending, you know, but this is who we're going to go with. So I will start Kieran Tierney there in the back four. And again, it looks like the formation is going to be a 4-2-3-1 formation. Now, in front of them, Granit Xhaka, who again has been consistently quite good, played a couple of nice through balls. The game against Southampton, a lovely through ball for, one he did for, I'm sure he played a through ball for Lacazette, and also the one for Pepe, who you know, equalised. So for me, Xhaka, who seems to play well when he's got Partey next to him. So it's going to be Xhaka, and next to him, obviously, Thomas Partey, who I think will be able to dominate that midfield. He's going to be up against the likes of Pogba or McTominay or Matic or even Fernandes. He needs to dominate. I think if we dominate that midfield, if we win that midfield battle, and then I think we can go on and win this game. Definitely think we could go on and win this game. It's about winning that midfield battle. So Thomas Partey alongside Granit Xhaka. Now, the three, obviously in the hole, Smith Rowe, that number 10, will be playing there. That's where I want him to be playing. And right, now on the right-hand side, we'll go with Saka. We'll go with Saka on the right-hand side. On the left, if, you know, I think I will probably go with the same side that went up against Southampton. So I'll go with Pepe on the left. And if them two are switching, because Pepe did work really hard, was running back, helping out the left back, Suarez at the time, I think he will do well. And when you've got those two, Kieran Tierney and Pepe coming down that side, it's going to cause a lot of problems. So I'll probably have to go with Pepe because I'm not too sure. I mean, listen, Uber is going to have to come back and fight for his place. But the chance of, if he is fit, then maybe there's a possibility that, you know, Arteta might put him in there. For me, it's got to be Saka, Smith Rowe and Pepe, and then up front, Lacazette. Obviously, the bench is going to be quite strong because you're going to have the likes of Martinelli. And if Uber is back, you know, rather than starting him, you know, have him on the bench, you know, Nketiah will probably be on the bench. Odegaard hopefully will be on the bench. Obviously, Ryan will be on the bench. Willock, you know, so Martinelli, you know, so we'll have quite a very strong bench. So we'll see what happens there. But I'm quite confident with that team going ahead. In terms of my predicted score, I'm going to go with a 2-1 to the Arsenal. That's what I'm going with, a 2-1. I'd love to keep a clean sheet, but I think they will score. But I'm going to go with a 2-1. We have to watch. If they start Cavani, that it might be a case of that may start Cavani. He didn't come on until the second half against Sheffield United. So there's a chance that they might start him. Now, he is a good player. We've got to watch him. We've got to watch his movement. And, you know, Fernandes will probably going to be playing for those penalties. That's why I don't want Luiz there, because he's likely to give away a penalty. Gabriel just needs to be focused and not to be rash. And just, you know, Holding needs to be speaking to him consistently and talking to him, Kieran Tierney as well. But I do think that, you know, we will do well. We will prevail with a 2-1 win. Now, that's my... I was going to say, just quickly, I was going to do a watch along, but I'm not going to be able to do it because, again, it just seems like every game that has been on, I've had another meeting. So I'm going to be watching the first half and then I've got to go into another meeting. So, you know, I'm going to be relying on my son and whoever my friends are sending me through the information with regards to how we're doing. So look, I'm looking for us to go do the double over Man U, and you know, may we have a very good review show and good player ratings. So that's it concerning the preview. And just quickly, in terms of transfers, just quickly, it's interesting because there's talk of Mustafi possibly being linked with Liverpool, because right now Liverpool are depleted of defenders. They have no defenders. They've lost Matip, Fabinho, you know, they've got no defenders right now, and they do need emergency cover. I know Klopp was saying that apparently they're linked with another player, another defender. I'm not too sure of his name, but Mustafi seems to be generating a lot of news and a lot of conversation. Is there a possibility that Mustafi could go to Liverpool? And if he does, you know, the chances are he could end up, I'm not saying Liverpool are going to win the league, but he could end up winning with a winner's medal. That would be absolutely funny. Put it in the comments. Let me know what you think concerning that. Mustafi to Liverpool and possibly winning the Premier League with them. The other thing is Maitland-Niles. I spoke about it yesterday. He's linked with a number of Premier League clubs. He wants time. He needs minutes of the pitch, and I know West Brom are interested in him, and also now it seems to be that Southampton have jumped ahead in the queue as well. They're looking for to do some loan signings, and you know, he's been urged to sign Maitland-Niles. Obviously, Maitland-Niles wants time, and you know, he may be. You know, we've got 3-4 days left before the window closes. I think it closes the 2nd of February. So there's a chance that Maitland-Niles could go in this window on loan to possibly West Brom or even Southampton. So that's going to be interesting. Come the summer, who knows what's going to happen? Because, you know, we're getting in quite a few new players in terms of loanees, and there's a chance like we could even keep Odegaard. He wants to stay. He's talking about wanting to make his stay permanent. Again, we'll have to wait and see come the summer. But will there be a place for Maitland-Niles? I mean, his job, he's like a utility player. Whenever there's an injury to either a left back or right back, he kind of fills in there. But other than that, you know, he was a lot in Arteta's plans. But for the last few games, he's not played at all. And obviously, he wants to get minutes under his belts because the Euros are coming up, and you know, he wants to be picked for that. So again, let's watch this space. Let's see what happens come the end of the transfer. Will Maitland-Niles go? Will Mustafi go to Liverpool? Will he win a title? That would be absolutely funny. Can you imagine Mustafi going on loan to Liverpool and Liverpool winning the title? I think the best he could do is probably end up in the top 4. But listen, Arsenal, we need a massive game this weekend. We have to go there and let's take the game to Man U. There was days when we used to, you know, I used to watch our team, especially there was the game with Sanchez and Ozil when we smashed Man United. I think it was 3-0, took them apart in the first 20 minutes. That's what we need to do. Take the game to them. Take our chances. Lacazette, take your chance. Take your chance. When you get in front of goal, take your chance. If your Aubameyang's playing, take your chance. Smith Rowe, Saka, Partey, come to the party. That's what I've got to say, man. Come to the party. Listen, guys, really appreciate you watching these videos, sharing it around, subscribing to me. It's been fantastic. As I said, road to 120. I'm on 112. 8 subs away from 120. Can you get me to 120? Please share it around. Please like, subscribe, and share. And hopefully we'll be smiling when we do our player ratings. Take care.